How many of you guys have used Shazam? Almost everybody. Awesome. How many of you have Shazammed your TV? Decent number. Cool. Well, we're here to talk today about Shazam and TV. You guys know this, but over 80% of people watching TV have their smart device with them, and we want to help connect those dots. So why Shazam? First of all, it's really a platform. It's a platform that just had its 400 millionth download. We sell a lot of music. We get a lot of Shazams. Let me show you that quickly. And we're the 10th most popular app in the world. So 80 million users last month. A great platform. People know where it is on their phone to be able to quickly get it and access content to connect to their TV. And people are Shazamming at astronomical proportions. We had 500 million Shazams last month. That's over 15 million per day. And every Shazam really is expressed intent. I'm interested in that song. I'm interested in that show. I'm interested in that product. So today I thought I'd walk you through Shazam for TV. We think about it as ways to integrate with Shazam before the show, during the show, and after the show. And I'll show a few examples, especially around sports, where we have done quite a bit of work. The first one is to actually Shazam enable promo spots. This is what we did for Fox in the World Series a couple weeks ago.
That's a long time.
Can we get more volume?
I haven't seen one of those synthetics for years. The idea behind the DRMs was to be as human as possible.
So you can see the call to action on the screen, which is an important thing for us to tell users that this is Shazamable. And the idea there...
I looked up to Abby for so many years before I was able to even play with her.
The idea there is you run a lot of promo spots. It's hard for people to remember what was that show, which channel, what time. Shazam it. We can set a reminder to remind someone to watch the show on the day it's on. It effectively bookmarks it onto their phone. It also delivers a 90-second trailer or whatever we want to deliver to that user. So we think promos are a very, very logical place for Shazam to help drive that connection.
Hi, I'm Ashley Bradbury. I'm a client partner at Facebook, focusing on sports and entertainment. And I'm here to talk to you about mobile. And if I were Andy Cohen, your drinking words would be engagement, mobile, and apps. So get excited about that. I'm going to give you some just quick tips on how to connect with your fans and customers on Facebook through mobile. But just a quick show of hands, how many people have checked their mobile devices one time today? Raise your hands. Okay, keep them up. Keep them up. How many of you have checked Facebook on a mobile device today? A couple times on Facebook today on a mobile device? Okay, cool. So that's a good foundation. Really quickly, let's take a look at where mobile fits in the media landscape today. I think most of you are aware that this is the first year that digital media consumption surpassed television. But did most of you know that this is actually also the first year that time spent on mobile devices surpassed time spent on desktop and laptop computers? When we're talking about digital media today, we're more and more frequently talking about mobile, which is why I'm here today. So, how are other verticals capitalizing on this? You need not look much further than the App Store, where Apple just announced that there are over 1 million apps in the App Store. And they're actually driving real business results. So a few examples from other verticals. In e-com and retail, 2014 is expected to drive $46 billion from mobile e-com. In financial services, mobile banking is, on financial services, over 30% of smartphone users are banking from their mobile apps. And in travel in the US, over 60% of mobile bookings are done so on a mobile app. But for those of you that don't have a mobile app, you'll be happy to know that you already have a strong mobile strategy just by having a presence on Facebook. Oops, excuse me.
Ride videos. I got to give a shout out to ESPN. They took me out to lunch, so they promised I'd give them a shout out. So, Fanalytics. I've been in Nielsen since 2009, almost 5 years, and the term Fanalytics, I came up with it. I was sitting on a plane, and the ESPN campaign, they do such a great job of marketing, is all about the fan. The fan is the center of everything as relates to sports. It's the center of the ESPN campaign. And I thought about Nielsen Sports and what we do and what we're all about, and I said, we're all about the fan, but also information about the fan. and insights about the fan. Fanalytics was born. So thank you, ESPN, for your campaign about the fan. So Fanalytics is really all, and everyone knows Nielsen, and we've got down the row a shout out to Nielsen, so thank you guys. Everyone knows about us measuring television and what you watch. So we have two primary businesses at Nielsen, right? We have what you watch, and it generally has been thought of as television, but we're getting much better and much further along in being able to measure across any device. And that's really, really important, because we've heard today the importance of mobile, the importance of tablet, the importance of all the different ways you're consuming and engaging content. And it's really, really important for us to be able to understand fans and all these different devices and the ways they are engaging and consuming all of this different content. And if you think about sports, we've heard it today, 99% watch live, right? So if I'm at my kid's soccer game and I happen to be a Michigan fan, I went to Michigan, it's been a rough season, last few games, but I still don't want to miss the action. If I'm at my kid's soccer game, I have if the game's on ESPN, I can watch it on ESPN. If it's on the Big Ten Network, I get the BTN To Go app. And I can consume my content live while it's happening on a tablet or my phone, which is great. And we need to be able to understand how fans are consuming and engaging with your content. So that's the watch side of it, right? There's also another really big part of Nielsen, which in this room you may not be as familiar with, which is we call the buy side of our business. And believe it or not, if you think about Nielsen, our revenue, 40% is the watch side, 60% is the buy side. So we're actually bigger on the buy side than the watch side, right? And the important thing is, when you think about, we had that panel this morning with Home Depot, and they were talking about Corona beer and all those things. They're making a huge investment in sports and sports media. So when they make this investment, we want to be able to track, okay, they're watching, they're consuming, we've got that data. Are avid fans of a particular sport, let's just use the NBA as an example, are they buying more? So we want to be able to say, okay, they watched it, they were exposed to my sponsorship or my content kind of woven into that sponsorship of the NBA or the NFL or whatever it is, and they actually bought more beer. So it really comes to this. This is the fundamental question. Measuring sponsorship impact. I'm on that race car when I'm in the grocery store. If I'm a race fan, am I buying more of that beer, right? That's really what it's all about. That's what Fanalytics is really all about. And there's been a lot of talk about big data today, and Frank talked about it as one of his 4 tenets at YouTube, Google, right? And I'd argue big data is important, got it, but it's really not big data, it's insights. It's intelligence and making better decisions, right? So if you're making a huge investment in something, you could look at all this big data and all that, and that's great, but I push my team every day. We can't just send data, we've got to send insights. We need to make people equip them with the tools to make better decisions, because that's really what it's about. You can have all this data, and that's great, but you really need to boil it down to what does it mean? What does it mean for my brand? What does it mean for my property? What does it mean for my viewer? What does it mean for whatever I'm trying to invest in? Because at the end of the day, how am I going to change my decision making because of me understanding that fan better?
So let's go into it. So SyncSense increases your commercial ratings as measured by Nielsen, makes teases and opens work harder and result in higher ratings, drives viewers from promos to programs more effectively, and works across platforms. So what is it? Well, first, it's worked for a number of different networks and their properties, ranging from NBC to WE to HBO, TNT, and so on. And this is over the past 4 years, and we're currently active with 2 of these brands right now. What is SyncSense then? Uses advanced neuroscience. How many people are familiar with neuroscience? Probably 2 or 3, right? Not much. It's kind of a hot topic. You're looking at people's eyes and how they react. We work with the neuroscience of a portion of it's called neuronal synchrony. Neuronal synchrony, shorthand term, is brain sync. Brain sync, meaning 2 or more segments of your brain fire at exactly the same time, increases your attention. Increases your attention measured in the lab And we can measure things very, very well with an fMRI now and EEGs and other devices. And we can also measure response via Nielsen. So we know it works in the lab, we know it works on TV channels. Increased attention equals increased audience, and what SyncSense then does is link this brain synchronization, neuronal synchrony that's going on in everyone's brain, with two or more areas fired at the same time, to increasing your engagement with the video and increased audience. Let's show you how it's working. This is the show tease for the nightly news before SyncSense worked with us back in 2008, 2009. The results showed increases in ratings across the demographics 18 to 35, 25, 18 to 49, and adult 25 to 54. The highest in adults 18 to 34. I'll tell you more later when we get on to that. Now, this was comparing 52 unsynced telecasts of the news to 28, all ratified and confirmed by NBC News research. So it worked, lifted the ratings, and let's go to the next slide. You can see that as recently as this month, they're still using the same technique. And they're even stronger for 25 to 44. As in the NBC News instance, the younger you are, the more you're responsive to the technique in the 18 to 54 realm. Here is also in a reality environment at WeTV, looking at a spot, pretty sync is your classic WeTV program.